great, holy, divine day.
On this great, holy, and divine.
Thanks for all who join and will join. Let's see.
All those who have ears to hear.
All right. It's on us. Eternal love. Tell with to all.
You ready to start?
Yep. Eternal love.
Super 13, the constellation Albura. One, O you who believe, let it be said, Albura. Two, the constellation, the heavens, plural. And the 12th name of Allah, the one, the absolute, the Almighty.
The Almighty baby. The divine. Ooh.
For the magnificent and glory of the night heaven. Have you ever heard that before? Night heaven. Five, the clouds and body of the great speckled serpent. Six, the image of great warriors and signs of history. Seven, the most beautiful ceiling which no man had bettered nor even can. When you look
Glory.
up at the sky
Glory.
and you see this beautiful ceiling, and you look up and you see no top, no end in sight. He's this beautiful ceiling that he's speaking about. And we know man can't better that.
That's what it said. No man.
Hey, we know man, no woman can touch that or better that or even the thought of.
And this reality is seeable.
Yeah.
And now the script is telling us from the words of wisdom that no man put this there.
No man did.
So all men and women should reflect on the existence in the world we in. We in the creator.
I don't even think man or woman take the clouds even serious just to see that above floating around. How precious that is. How beautiful that is. But you think nothing of it. The only beauty you see is that what you look in the mirror and call yourself beauty. And it's so beautiful when you walk outside at night. It really is to me. And you look up and you see the moon. And you see the stars. How beautiful that is at night when you look up and see all this beautiful, magnificent. And yet, man has nothing to do with that. That ought to tell you just how beautiful creation is. And we should be forever grateful to be part of it and to be able to even exist thereof.
Yeah, I'm telling you, these days,
We should be forever grateful.
people acting like they greater than what was just read.
Yeah.
They greater than the stars in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where people on earth want to die and go. I wonder, do we give ourselves a time to think on that, or the body too busy?
Mm-hmm. Too busy.
Because you ain't taking flesh to heaven.
Mm-mm.
And so a busy body is a busy flesh. Mm-hmm. So we might want to understand, why is that symbolically there representing some reality?
Yeah.
And this is the reality that we need to adjust and understand. This is something beautiful here.
Yeah.
That there's a creator that exists. The divine creator.
Mm-hmm.
Only one.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Hey, the magnificent of constellations and roof of heaven challenge every man and woman to see with their own eyes the power and majesty of Allah. So when you look up and you see the cloud, the sun, the moon, and at night you see the stars, you see something else up there, but you can't see it when it's daytime. But it's present. But only at a certain time it's be revealed. So that ought to tell you something right there. And you don't have anything to do with it, you little busy body and busy bee. Nothing to do with it. And yet, you are so disrespectful to the divine creator. So it's time for some rain checking going on. Some reevaluation going on.
Yes, and when we're talking about magnificence, that's not a small word.
It sure enough ain't.
That's giving a description to something big and vast.
That's right. Big and vast.
And we'll be like, why is the importance of me understanding the magnificence of the stars?
Yeah. And another thing sweet about it, when you look up, you see no walls. And if you observe from the beginning of time, there was no wall, none but the mountain. The wall, the mountain. The wall of the mountain. If you needed a wall, you go down in the valley. And on both sides there's a wall. A divine wall. Not the one that man builds and want to trap everybody and close everything off.
as I have on the screen, the word magnificence. And as we can see, the word magnificence means great mindedness.
Great mindedness.
So our Creator has placed these constellations there, not only for life, but also out of his great mindedness. The great mindedness of the constellations. And it also shows, if we, let me bring us back to number 8. After the constellations, it says in roof. A roof is a top, a covering. So the roof of not a house, it says the roof of heaven.
Yeah.
So if we can see the roof or the stars, that means we looking at the roof of heaven.
That's correct.
So if you are looking at the roof of heaven, where are you?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Somewhere standing on the ground looking up, I guess.
You must be in heaven to be able to look at heaven.
That makes sense to me.
You must be in heaven
That makes sense to me.
to look up around
See him.
in heaven.
Even the night heaven, he said.
And so that means if heaven has a roof,
Yeah.
then heaven has a ground.
Yep.
Walk with us. KOS.
Yeah, baby.
So if the ground exists, then the roof exists. And we see the roof exists.
Yep.
So the roof of heaven. So we have been told to hate this world.
Yep.
Now this is done through certain false scriptures that tells you to hate the world. Now isn't that a black eye?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Now that's a mental black eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell you to hate the Creator.
Yeah.
That's a form of saying hate the Creator. Hate the world.
Yeah.
You didn't create it. He didn't create it. That told you to hate it.
Yeah. But see, it's so easy to hate. See.
So when we talking about all this that we look into at this world that is observable is from a great mind.
Yeah.
And this great mind created you. And if you can understand this great mind, then that will be the same in you.
Oh, my. Look at him.
We need to look up to see our higher self.
Wonderful thought.
So we must understand we have the higher self to bring us to the heaven. The lower self can't go to the higher realms. So we must bear witness that the highest realms exist. How would you know if you didn't see it?
Thank you.
You know man and woman exist
Yeah.
because you see them. You know things exist that man and woman create. But what about what the Creator created? Can we see that with our own eyes? Ooh, now this is something majestic. To be able to see the Creator creations with your own eyes.
That's what it says in 8.
Ooh. That means truth exists.
Yeah.
Now are self going to deny it?
Yeah.
Because you see the celestial atmosphere.
Right. That's right.
And then, yes, you see the celestial bodies.
Yeah.
They can only live in a celestial atmosphere.
Right on. Yeah.
So as we saying, the power, this is all belongs to the great Creator. The divine Creator. The majesty of Allah. The great mindedness.
Yeah. Right on.
And then let's look up majesty.
Yeah.
Because these are big words
These
right
big
here.
words. We talking about sweet around the roses.
They call some men on earth who play this role,
Yeah.
Your Majesty.
Yeah. Your Majesty.
Okay.
That's referring to them old big time kings sitting up there on the throne, playing God
That's what the super
Playing
said.
Almighty.
They playing gods of madness.
Yeah.
That's-
Of the mad world.
So in that status, majesty was used in the status
Mm-hmm.
to say one of high rank.
Yeah.
So let's dive into majesty when it's requiring majesty of the creator,
Yeah.
who is all law. Majesty comes from magi. Have you heard of the three wise men?
Yes, I have.
Well, they was considered the three magi's.
Mm-hmm.
So the magi's carried a majesty.
Yeah.
Majesty.
Yes, sir.
And the majesty says it's greatness going with magnificence.
Mm-hmm.
So we know magnificence is the greatness of mind, and majesty is the greatness of mind being used, bringing grandeur character, imposing loftiness, qualities appropriate to the creator. Great excellence. And then it says it's in reference to God or Christ
Majesty.
as a title of address or dignity to kings and queens. Late 14th century. See, this is where things are going haywire.
Yeah.
See, we have pre-existing
Yeah.
holy scriptures that existed before 14th century,
Yeah, that's right.
before 16th century.
Yeah.
So these dignified kings and queens ain't talking this knowledge of Allah,
Yeah. Yeah.
where they get all their power from.
Uh-huh.
Move back over here.
You know, I don't know what could be on people's mind, but when you look up and you see the clouds and you look up, you see the sun, and you ain't have nothing to do with this. You didn't place it up there, and then the sweet part about it is it's always consistent. Never always on time.
Always
That
consistent.
don't get your mind.
And then they tell
That don't
you,
get the attention of your mind. When you ain't on time, it is.
that's why we have to be careful not to be taking L's. Because too many L's stop you from looking at the greater.
That's right.
The greater is your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But we have been indicated through scriptures, through men
And
labeling forms outside of themselves,
yeah,
such as God, Christ, devil.
yeah,
These forms men have created and put outside of themselves have now turned into the greatest demons that are now surfacing as questionable, lacking consistency, and never having any profound substance of truth. Everything wishy-washy.
yeah.
So if the constellations in consistent order,
Consistent, I said,
I'm listening, I'm hearing. If the
and persistent.
yes,
Not only consistent, but persistent. Persistent.
yes, it perseveres through the opinions of mortals. Now I'm gonna say that again. It perseveres through the opinions of mortals. Anything that our Creator creates cannot be uncreated. It says once it's created in the mind. This is a heavenly speech right here. Let's say now men of religions have now taken the labels of your mind and have labeled it something outside of yourself. They have taken your body and now labeled it outside of yourself. So now when you want to look at your mind, now they call that God. So man have no profoundness to know that he's looking at himself in the mirror.
Yeah.
So through that word, they was able to take you away from your highest being and begin to now have you look outside of your own self for that which is higher.
Yeah.
And this was not the grand teachings of the wisdom from the ancients. The temples of Egypt or Kemet, for quick word's sake, was know thyself. This has nothing to do with anything else. Once we know ourselves, we'll know the creator. Not creation. We ain't talking about creation. You'll know the creator. Every man before and woman before they go, they must learn the qualities of the creator. What is of the creator and what is not of the creator.
Right on. Right on.
The creator and the created is not the same.
No, it's not.
And this is what we have to come to, especially into the black community. Given we've been labelized with different names, now we throwing all names out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
When those who started mistranslating already knew what name pre-existed all names. And so as we bring the oldest text to resurface, dealing with the matters of currently of today, we have it present. And as we see, the majesty of Allah, all law.
Yeah.
This is the dignity of the one. It was a saying that the all is all and the all is one.
Right on.
And that all is an abbreviation for all law.
Right on.
This is what we have to understand, where everything exists in. We're not existing outside of the universe. We are inside of a world.
That's right.
That functions on its own self.
That's right.
It don't need to generate how the below earthly humans generate.
Right on.
It sustains all beings.
Yeah. That's right. That's what it does.
We are in one living being. This is our creator. This is why the creator knows everything that is going on. Because we living in the creator. Don't you know what's going on in your body when you paying attention?
That's right.
You know when something up, when something down.
Right on.
You know when it's moving left, when it's moving right. You know when you should be balanced, when you're off balance. And so we know when we feel off balance, we bring ourselves back to balance physically.
Right on.
So the creator understands and knows all because we are inside of the creator.
Yeah.
We have to understand this metaphysics, that the things you see are the manifestations, just like the thing you see are the manifestations of your mind. Then you had to think that thought for it to exist in your house.
That's right.
So exactly the opposite for greater, what is called metaphysics. You have to think a thought for you to exist. If you did not exist, could you think a thought? Take yourself back when you were asleep. Was you asleep thinking thoughts?
No, you wasn't.
So that shows that's the two realities that religion has covered and have filled our minds with dogma instead of knowledge of self.
Yeah.
So now our mind, we don't know what that is.
Yeah.
The devil, we don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But these two things coincide with knowledge of self. God is an identifier for your mind. The devil is an identifier for your body, the flesh.
Yeah.
Now, when you go into the religion descriptions of God and devil, God represents the light. So the light is still equivalent to your mind, while the devil represents the darkness, while that is equivalent to your flesh.
Yeah.
Now, the light, what you have to understand is the consubstantiality of the soul and matter. Soul is matter, but you don't understand this matter because it's of an ultraviolet frequency that's above visible spectrum. Visible spectrum is only 7. Everything else above and below you cannot see. It's called unseen.
Yeah.
So the greater parts of existence is not in purview. When you look up to the celestial, that is still in manifestation.
Yeah.
Allah says his greatness is in the unmanifest, the things you can't see.
Can't see. And we do know there's certain things you just cannot see. For example, the wind. Look at how it just shake the trees, can't see nothing. Number 5 says, 4 said, the magnificent and glory of the night heaven, that's means when you looking upward. And 5 said the clouds and body of the great speckled serpent. Now, when you look at the word serpent, can you look up and do you see a great snake crawling around up there? Another word for serpent is wisdom. Remember what Jesus said when he said, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. So when you see the clouds above and the speckled serpent, you're looking at wisdom itself. The great wisdom, because someone has to be wise in order for that. Look like the cloud will just vanish and disappear and won't be around tomorrow, or you might not never see it again. But it's not like that. You constantly seeing them. We're talking about the magnificent here. And you can tell just as good. That's why when man first came on the scene, he had the truth, because it was a gift from the divine creator to give it to him. So he wouldn't wander away and get lost. But if it's not the origin and the original truth, then anything wrote after that is going to be contrary. And this is why we have the mess we have today, is because all the translation and the writing going on, that they got all the people all messed up and shook up. Because a lot of this being written ain't the absolute truth. That's what I'm getting to. And we know what Jesus said. Jesus said, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And that's the only thing will make you free. And you can tell just as good when one think he have it and when he don't have it. Because the expression will be right from the tree itself. Or right from the body itself. Or you will see his light, this light that Jesus was talking about, letting your light so shine. This truth he's talking about. That they may see your good works. That's what he said. And glorify your Father which is in heaven. It says what? And the glory. Let's see where I saw that. Oh yeah. 4. The magnificent and the glory that you're looking at, beholding.
And so, who all said that cosmology is not a part of Islam,
Oh, yes,
never
it is.
had the Al-Sufyan Islam.
That's right. See, that's what I was talking about when you know who got to have the truth and who don't, because you would know.
Oh, I
Just
would
like
know.
what you said.
Exactly.
That's right.
Because you don't have it.
That's right.
It wouldn't matter if you have to understand. The older you are, the more you've been lied to.
Mm-hmm.
The younger you are, you got freshness of truth.
That's right.
It's harder to lie to you.
Yeah.
So when it comes to understanding, older people, they don't do no research on nothing.
No, they don't.
They just follow along with the crowd.
That's correct.
So a lot of people have been following on the crowd, not researching
Right.
the text they dedicating their life to and what they dying under the name as, and that they bury what is being said.
That's correct.
So a lot of this is a indication of that we don't have a one way, because there are many thought methodologies going around now contaminated by religion. You got over 3,000 denominations of Christianity.
Goodness gracious.
You have now sectarianism going on in the false Islam. Because those are based on premises that no one ever put together. So if you drinking from a poison well, you're going to be poisoned.
That's what I'm talking about.
So if all your literature is poison
That's
well,
what I'm talking about right there.
meaning now your mind is poison.
That's what I'm talking
And so now you can never get to your greatest
about.
by being limited. The limited knowledge that is going inside the populace mind has been poisoned water. And they have no clue what really is. We just know the words of. But these things of actuality, how do we know? We know that this exists. This is where we have stumbling blocks. We should all be able to answer, what is life? Where does life come from?
Yeah.
These are the things that are bound in these texts called religion's doctrines. But those who are not studying them cannot bring out the greatness through the deception. These texts are literally here to bring you to certain levels, but it's also here to show you who you are. Meaning that if you never known, then all will be unknown. If one thinks he knows, he will never go after what he knows. This is the place that we are in. Our people know so greatly that we think we know.
Yeah. Bad.
And your reality is, you know you don't know. So why is this energy propelling itself outward and getting greater and greater?
Pretending.
Because we have to understand how life really works. Just like it's something called in life called you get hungry. That is a effect from something that begins way before you even had the idea that means that you hungry. You hear animals when you get close to their food growl.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that again. You hear animals when you get close to their food growl.
Sure will.
Now when you hear your stomach growl, why we never take that into account before it was said? See, just because I say it to you don't mean you know it. You got to know it before I'm saying it to you, because that show a perplexity of contemplative thought. If you think you know it because I just said it to you, then that's not knowing. You got to be able to produce these thoughts consistently on your own to be able to reach your greatest self. You have to juke and spin out of your own misery. Because that misery is the growl. Why does your stomach growl? That's in an animal.
Yeah.
You hear an animal stomach growling.
Yeah.
They growl.
Yeah.
But when you speak, you don't growl.
How about that?
See, because this is the understanding of life and death. You are a composite, strangely mixed. And if you don't understand the teachings of why wisdom is present, then that same hunger that you ate with is gonna eat you.
Yeah.
This is called nighttime. When do you go to sleep? Nighty night.
99.
So when you are going to sleep, that is called you have been eaten. You have been ate. And this is science that was left by our ancestors of Kemet and Egypt as the greatest wisdom. Our people of ancient times was not into materialism.
Sure wasn't. Sure wasn't.
Their ism was wisdom.
Right on.
And that wisdom was knowing life after death. So our ancestors who was wise already mapped out death and mapped out life and gave us the blueprint. And our blueprint was hijacked and stolen by the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran. And this is why these two books got the word holy on them.
Right on.
How can anything holy have death, destruction,
In it.
and evil?
Right on. Right on.
Wisdom has nothing to do with evil, destruction. This is what wisdom is not. So as most are confused, because it says different things in different concepts in different books. So who knows what book someone is thinking about?
Yeah.
When they speaking.
Yeah.
And so these things don't ever unite to a oneness. They unite into a diffusion of division. Hence the denominations. So now it's the creator and its creation, but now they're never one and the same.
Right on.
Every creature that was created by the creator is one with the creator. They don't act to be nothing else than what they designed to be. The tree ain't gonna never not be a tree as long as you seen it. When you see a tree walking, then a tree is no longer a tree. We ain't seen it. What Allah has made, it is itself.
It is.
And it would be that way to
Beautiful.
to Allah say it's appointed time. So we must be the same way. And that's why interception have been thrown at us. And now we must understand that we got to understand life and death from the creator's perspective.
Yeah.
This is where no death is. But when we are underneath the creator, we are creation. And you have the ability, not as an animal, to transcend your growl, to transcend your deepest hunger, to transcend your deepest unconsciousness. So as you see, what pulls the soul into sleep, that is a force. Let's pay attention. Y'all think gravity real. You throw something up, it come down. Well, let me tell you, you throw something in unconsciousness, it goes to sleep. Check the measure of reality. Your life is your reality. What pulls your soul into sleep? You awake right now.
Yeah.
Why are you at certain time going to be pulled into sleep? That's to show you that there's a force greater than gravity.
Right on.
That deals with the laws of the soul. And if you don't understand this, this is where you go.
Right on.
This what comes with lack of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they call Satan or Baal. The deepest darkness that is the opposite of the true transcendent light. That's why the sun don't come out at night. These are realities. It lives a separate reality.
Hey, what you say? Beautiful. Beautiful. Can I want to say,
yes.
I want to say something.
Yeah.
Something you pointed out when you mentioned about both books, the Bible and the Holy Quran.
Mm-hmm.
The Holy Bible and the Holy Quran.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about all the mischief that's going on, for an example, one book, it states that Jesus Christ died on the cross. This is the Bible, Holy Bible talking now. The Holy Quran, it says something different.
That's a fact.
It said that he did not die on no cross.
That's a fact.
Said it appeared. I think that's what I read in there.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody read the Quran, you know what I'm talking about. So my question is, who's right and who's wrong? If not, it's both wrong. Now, this is what we better become conscious, just like what you were saying, because when you throw something up, it comes down, like you said, the gravity. So when you unconscious, what I'm getting at, it's like throwing up a rock, and it coming right back down. And when you're unconscious, the devil is going to get you, because now you don't know what's up and what's down and what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah. 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 I got the surah right here. Al Nisa.
Would you please
Al
read it?
Nisa. Mm-hmm. How the Quran speaks, Ayat 4, Surah 157. And for boasting, we killed the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, the messenger of Allah. But they neither killed nor crucified him. It was only made to appear so.
Oh.
Even those who argue for this crucifixion are in doubt.
Oh.
They have no knowledge whatsoever, only making assumptions. Last sentence. They certainly did not kill him.
See? It says certainly they did not.
Did not kill him.
Now watch this right here. On the Christian side, and this tied Easter all up with this, and he rising in so many days, and he gonna rise up out the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Every man I know that died has a body, and you can find his body, or they buried him in a certain area.
Mm-hmm.
In the case with Jesus Christ, there's no bones to be found, no body to be found. So there's something spooky wooky going on, what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
No body, no bone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anybody that has died, the body out there in the ground, or you can go in the area and find it, or they'll exhumerate the body and dig it back up, and the body will be in the casket? Everything is a little mystery, because when you look at even the birth of Jesus, where Mary said, I ain't touched no man, but yet she's pregnant. And we know in us not been involved in sex or having anything to do with a woman, that you gotta touch her. Y'all gotta get intertwined. Y'all
Right.
know what I'm talking about.
Right. Reality.
Come on, we talking about now, we talking about spooky wooky, now we talking about reality. It's just like the talking horse and the talking donkey. See,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just pointing some things out. That how we done swallowed the hook, line, and sink, and somebody went fishing on us and baited us up.
Mm-hmm. That's what, you know, the gift is to the old, to try to help them understand that, because y'all have swallowed that line, hook, and sinker.
We have.
It's deep and embedded in y'all mind. So only thing you can do is evaluate truth. And so you got to know for yourself that you didn't exist in them times.
That's right.
So don't confuse yourself as you did. So don't just give yourself all up to something that you didn't even exist in. At the time, you exist now.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have the time to, if you want to fully give yourself up to that, really find out how everything was put together. Because that story just didn't fly out the clouds into your mind.
No.
As a full story. You pick that up from somewhere.
That's right.
So you have to understand reality is that just didn't fall out the sky. Someone orchestrated a very great story.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know how that story was put together, you're going to be in the mystery. And to be in the mystery is to be in the unconsciousness. So this is where most people are going. They have not solved the mystery on earth yet. And so these stories are inclinations of how you should understand your life, but we have turned it into outside worship and ancestral reverence, and now it's absolutely forbidden. We actually mocking the dead. And so these things are forbidden in the name of Allah. So these things are for people who really don't want to actually learn the truth and then actually stick with the truth. Then I advise you not to play with the dead. Leave the Bible out as it is. If you're not fully invested in it, leave the Bible as it is. Leave the Quran as it is. I'm saying that because I have authority to. I've been given the revelation and I'm bringing forth the revelation. All truth must come forth.
That's right.
All lies, if you got them in your mind, you got to deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
If you got them in your soul, you got to cleanse it.
Yeah.
This is your time while you still alive. Don't ignore the great message. The great message is purify yourself before death. Mm-hmm. So you can understand the only way to purify yourself is to have truth. Without truth, you are unconscious. Mm-hmm. This is what the opposite of truth is. This is why he's saying if you don't have the truth, then you shall be unconscious. Only the people who will be free from unconsciousness. This is the light and the dark, or the day and the night. Mm-hmm. All our divine beings, if you believe in them or not, they live in the sun. They're not in nighttime. They in the daytime. Everyone else that wasn't divine, they in the nighttime. This is how life is designed. Yeah. If you pay attention to it. Yeah. That's why I'm telling you, if you pay attention to your life, when you awake, it's daytime. Yeah. That's light. Mm-hmm. When you go to sleep, that's nighttime. Mm-hmm. And when you the opposite of wake, you're unconscious. Yep. And if you don't understand that you can be unconscious while awake, this is the gift that we have to understand why you are strangely mixed with night and day. Mm-hmm. Which one are you going to be? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so we have to understand the teachings accurately and in its prophetic state. Mm-hmm. Things are to come to pass. Books shall be revealed. Mm-hmm. It said in Revelations that a book shall be revealed and it shall be a little book. Mm-hmm. But did our people forget, or did the church pastor not keep that revelation in prophecy? that all our people that in this time, they were going to see a new book revealed. The Quran wasn't in their time. They're going to see a new book revealed, revealing all truths to all stories that you have heard in the Bible and the Quran. Elijah Muhammad told you, one is going to come that's going to bring you the book.
Yep.
The book of all books. But we ain't listening, we ain't studying, we ain't referencing, we ain't keeping these in our mind. So that's why I tell you, if you're not really on that life, don't play with it. You mocking the dead. Don't use Jesus' name. You mocking the dead. Don't use any prophet name. You mocking the dead. If you're not really living this life and you're not willing to change your life into a greater purity, don't use people names in vain.
Yep.
That is mocking the dead. You don't know who these people are. You is not devout in your way. So please be honest with yourself that you will do your best just to live your life in a good and holy life without disrespecting the character of other characters who came and brought forth. When people are in cahoots with that. And so we have to understand, people have incarnated that is beyond your mind capability, that you think that did not exist. These people existed just like you think mythologies existed. This is where the real deal come from. This is why we still able to uphold Islam, because some divine being manifested. And now we have the proper Islam, which is Sufyan Islam. The Al-Sufyan is the revealed word. This is the revealed book of our time that predates and pre-exists all other literatures we have been associating with. The Tanakh, the Torah. This includes the Torah, the Mishnah, the Septuagint, all these books, all the Geneva to the Catholic Bible, KJV, all the way to Mulani Ali, all these translations, all these books that have came forth, the Holy Megillah, the Owaspi, all these texts that have came forth, the Book of the Mormon, of the Latter-day Saints, all these books that came forth, have you invested time and authority in them to understand them? If not, don't call on no dead. You are mocking the dead. So you have to understand where these researching and where these scholars are getting these books from.
Right on.
Where are they constructed? They don't fall like no sky.
Nope.
And so now we have for all our people, especially the people of the West, we have the revealed word that was told that was coming. And now it's here, and all we have to do is stand near. And we getting the understanding now of why we also had the cosmology of what they call astrology. When they watered down cosmology, they turned it into astrology. And so astrology has to deal with the constellations. So the constellations is considered the roof of heaven. In order to get from the roof to the ground, you had to be birthed or born or flung or ejected. So the understanding of why black folks never studied astrology, but they know they sign, is why Islam is in your DNA. That is a part of Islam, knowing the cosmology, because the theology of time that Elijah Muhammad is bringing forth is the time and the knowledge of the constellations.
Mm-hmm.
Before there was a constellation or a universe, Allah existed in the darkness. This is what it said in the theology of time. In the black of cosmic dark space. Before a shape or form or dimension or figure was known. This is talking about 76 trillion years. Now we got the proper knowledge. The theology of time is 144 trillion years. For us to get to this point, 144 pre-existing years, trillion years existed for us to get to this moment right here.
Ain't that beautiful?
So everything is moving forward, so we must keep it going forward. And so understanding that everything has its place and everything has its time, and the people who did, they have done what they did. Now it's our time, and now we have the revealed word of our time. And now it's time to do the do. Oh, yeah.
I finished Super 13, the constellation.